Alright, time to go handle that side quest. Time to blue ball you for a bit, because we gotta do still gotta do that side quest.
What side quest?
Remember we got here and Sakichi's like, hey, I need to talk to us about something. Side
Oh
quest.
yeah.
Yeah, every time we go to a new location, one of the party members will be like, hey, there's a thing that I want to do, so can you come over here? For some reason, no one can just go to Joker. Make Joker go to them every single time. What the hell is Sakichi? Over here. No. They got something to request or something.
You're doing this one? You're doing this one? You're doing this one? You're doing this one? Time to get to work. You're doing this one? You're accepting this request?
Oh, I guess I got so that go to.
You're accepting this request? You're accepting this request?
I'm good on that.
You're accepting this request?
F these Steve's challenge missions. F them hard. F my friends for even suggesting these things. Joker's friends. For context, every single thief mission essentially go through essentially a segment of the dungeon without getting caught.
Oof. You've really grown up.
For sure, I get that side of dialect, moving and grooving Joker, that's my boy. That's Akichi.
How's it going?
Chirping young lad like I said, always use this. In order to throw the whole second one in the house, can't eat two whole things. Gyoza can take this, it's pretty good. Kids, you should cook for yourselves an awful lot, considering many restaurants we sell our place. Good place to check out. Why are you always cooking? We're cooking and eat together. It's one of the best parts of the trip. Do you ever cook Sakichi? Never yet. I want a job so often. As long as you grab something like some bread. It can be great for your health. Yeah, I know. I always used to do all the work cooking. So I'll still together a meal when I'm actually home. The Connie's there and all. Seems to be his biggest fan of my cooking though. I'm gonna regret asking this. What do you make? I fill a pot with water, add salt, chopped vegetables, water, and meats on sale. Add some sugar to balance out the salt, but add it too much. That's all it takes for an easy, well-balanced dinner.
Really?
Good grief, why would you proud of that? I do feel worse than ever for not crying now. What else can I do? I never learned how to cook a proper meal from scratch. She's growing girls though. I wish I could make her something actually good. She arrives in the right place. It's a good sign for your kids' relationship. Hey Joker, let's teach the kitchen recipe. Teach it for a Kai's sake too. Soon that's bad. When I think about it, next time you have the opportunity.
Time for a master's course.
Alright.
Hey man, you better keep up, Zakichi. You're seriously setting me up for this without my say so? Go, Joker's curry master, but ratio cutting how to make that. What else can we teach? Well, about asking Haru Futaba. Haru's gotta know some healthy dishes. We don't know if Futaba making what she'll eat. Because you better ask now before it's too late. Oh no, not a great time for. Let's go so hard for some social idea. Easy beginner meal for Takechi. Yes, please continue poking your nose to my business. Alright, fine. It'll feel like it if I feel like it later, okay? I'll ask you later.
Here's what I found. You're doing this one?
I forgot it's called cooking, Papa.
Time to get to work.
Ha!
Oh, but we got to Haru first. That is done. To cook, whenever, so we're gonna put your mouths because they are. Should buy Koreans way more knowledgeable food than he does, so 2 points when you're ready. You can learn to cook, but I love so much we go through a con. I know you can do that, so it's only good perfect. So sweet, thank you, Moe-chan. Well, can't be able to help but be honored to lend a hand.
You'll do great.
Yes.
Everything I got. Should make a good first lesson. How about Okinawa style cuisine? It's a classic Kyoto approach, served in farm-to-table experiences. Use a variety of local vegetable seafood, nothing over fancy. The proper fit and play a healthy economy. So you go buy everything you need, very fair lesson. I'll get right on it. It'll be my first time behind the lectern, but I still have a reputation of food at spirit steak. Request the grocery list.
This is the request. You're accepting this request? Okay, let's do our. Here's what I found. You're already working on this. Thank you.
We're ready, class. You know what? Why not try preparing some of those last dishes alongside Sakichi? Listen, what are you like in the future? I'll jump in case I get anything wrong. So what do you say?
Got your back.
I'm so glad.
But I already know you'll be there too. So I'll be right there with you too. Try to carry for our first cooking lesson together. Which we're working with. So how does something great for Taba on board?
What?
Now we're getting a cooking class for Takechi. That's like it could be fun, but that's like we call it Super Taster. Pick about it, seeing like several brands. That's about the tip of my culinary knowledge. This is pick about flavor. Be best for how Kanye might react to Takechi's cooking. Getting ass here, serious to your point, just for talking on the case, huh? Listen, I don't know before I read that as a compliment. I take that as an insult. Yeah, baby, I waited to curry every day for a long time, but finally be firm and impartial during this trial. So I prefer this. Don't stay your gabble during this. Either no to hold back. You got it. What's in the dark set? That's a curry recipe? No, I was gonna teach us about Okinawa style food. Alright, fuck, that's keto cooking. Can't play for middle school. I gotta teach them to make stuff like kids to eat. You know, kids like to eat curry and ramen, except no substitutes. Guess you should probably know Takechi had to make those some other time, Joker.
You'll be in good hands.
Cooking time.
First, from Takechi teaching it to you, prove curry ramen and truly up to snuff. Okay. Pretty good warm up for my judging skills, okay? I like cuisine. Finish, I just want to eat some of your cooking. I still help us Akane in the end. So you have to get just gonna have to get judged for to approve her classic curry and new ramen recipes.
This is the request. You're already working on this. You're accepting this request? Time to get to work. This is the request. You're already working on this. Looks delish.
Curry and ramen, living the high life now. What cow could resist such a perfect meal? I shall follow in its wake.
Hey,
It is sick, but how does it taste? That's what matters more.
what?
The taste is, oh my. It's incredible. Curry, it's epic as Sojo's. Start me some ramen. It's like I'm getting a vision of fast kind of styles. They'll get an A+, A++ even. My palate is ready and ready to judge. So the cooking's still on point. We're ready for starting the lesson. So I'm me from my chambers when I'm talking to start. A bunch of oracles ready to analyze every last bite.
You're already working on this. Is it cooking time?
In the lesson? So I said should we begin the lesson? Yes. And who's presenting over this test, you shall address me as your honor. Fine, sucker. I mean, your honor. These two are getting pretty into it. You sure this is a good idea? Of course, sort of families, but control for proper meal preparation. Just ignore how they're so good at it. Yeah, I guess it's fine, but it's just alright. Alright, go with the flow for now. Kichi, have you washed your hands thoroughly? Are your nails trimmed? And why is your apron on? Your lessons? No, your battle's just already begun. And tie back that study long hair of yours. Show some respect to my courtroom. Oh, my friends want to get even worse than I do for the Kamish. And again, I probably use some tough love every so often, but you can work on it. So wait, Dad's gonna make you a new favorite meal real soon.
Let him cook.
I mean, yeah, that's the point. What am I doing? That's right. We got to choose the music for a new dungeon.
Regular P3.
Let's get to. Who's it for? Which one? Who's it for? 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 What are you selling? Are you sure? Are you sure? Things are discounted right now. You should buy some. Thanks a bunch. How many would you? Thanks a bunch. How many would you? Thanks a bunch. You thinks a bunch. How many would you? Thanks a bunch. How many? You thinks a bunch. How many would you? Thanks a bunch. How many would you like? Thanks a bunch. You thinks a bunch. How many would you? Thanks a bunch. How many would you want? Thanks a bunch. How many would you? Thanks a bunch. How many would you? Thanks a bunch. You thinks a bunch. How many would you? Thanks 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 a bunch.
Time to cook.
Allow me to taste it. Ah, how nice.
Phew.
Not bad. Good choice.
Phew.
Not bad. Ah, how nice.
All done.
Not bad. Ah, how nice.
All done.
My appetite is stimulated. Ah, how nice. My appetite is stimulated.
I should write something.
And now I'm ready for jail.
All right, let's get going.
Let's go.
Infiltration went well, at least.
Stay sharp, everybody. This could potentially be the mastermind behind everything that we've faced thus far. Security's bound to be. Right. We should expect that Kanoe knows how jails worked.
I assume that's Kanoe's castle. If so, we have our destination.
Time to get moving. Show me how it's done.
Let's go.
Hang on a sec. Stop!
What is it, Oracle?
Check it out.
The hell is that? A machine gun?
It's topped with a security camera, too.
I'm trying not to notice
Probably
that.
open fire if you get too close.
So it's the same setup we saw in Shibuya. The castle's beyond here. So we're gonna have to do something about this thing first.
If I had to guess, I'd say there's a core somewhere around here that's powering it. I saw something that looked like a prison keep up top. If this is business as usual, it's probably there.
I guess that's our first stop. Let's get going.
Prison key? Well, guess I'll know once I get there.
Greetings, good citizens. Have you seen any evildoers nearby? If you do see any, please report it immediately. Our hero will then come to change their hearts. Akira is our one true hero. He is the only one who can save the world. Akira will keep everyone safe with the power to change hearts. He will protect our way of life.
Kira?
You must be referring to Kanoe. Guess he's a superhero in this world.
So this is how he views himself. Ironic that the villain is playing the hero.
Our hero Akira will protect the people of this city. Evil must
What does it mean by that? And this voice, is that Emma?
Phony hero parading himself around in a futuristic
Remember,
city. Some major dystopian vibes from this one.
So does that mean we're the villains?
We'll expose him.
I'm gonna resist every urge in my body.
We need a villain name.
Akira.
Which one is it?
We need a villain name.
I'm resisting every urge from making an obvious joke.
Yeah.
And that's a good point. If we're going to oppose the hero, then Super Phantom Thieves works great.
He wants to treat us like the bad guys? Fine. We're still gonna bring him down.
We'll show him who the real villain is.
Let's keep it that way. Let's eat first. Gotta brace ourselves. Wait, that counts.
Over here!
Okay, what I'm gonna do with that game? Nothing, at least what I'm gonna do. Why even point in that direction?
What is that? we take a look?
This is our chance. Wanna give him a last surprise? As long as we keep the advantage, the battle is ours. Great. Do it.
No, nothing I can do.
Running out of steam. Hunt down any stragglers.
Just over here saying here that that bus can't do anything.
Okay.
They have their heads up.
They're in our way. Let's move them aside.
Electricity won't work on it. We need to come up with something else.
Sitting there right. Stay on the offensive.
Victory is handed.
Oh, something I read earlier. Common realization someone's having, which is the pretty common complaint when it comes to specifically only P4 and P5, which is the complaint that those games have the party members freaking essentially inflating the player's ego to an absurd degree, to the point where they keep putting the main character on such a high pedestal compared to everyone else. Makes it feel like they're not one big team, as opposed to they're basically the main character and the main character's backups.
Without exception.
Yeah.
I imagine that's to know his goal.
With P4 and P5 seem to be having that issue.
Nothing like the fantasy.
Another thing is also how some people say, the reason for it is not necessarily trying to make the player feel special, but also to have the one-time fact that P4 and P5 the characters become fast friends for the sake of the characters joining the party, as opposed to something like P3 where the characters aren't even friends until the end of the game.
Shadow. Stay focused.
And I've seen people constantly complain about that fact of P3, that the characters aren't friends for the longest time, and to them that means it's a quote-unquote bad dynamic.
I'm sensing less enemies.
Which I'm like, what? The idea that C's treats each other like co-workers is a bad thing for some reason.
Wait, it's over? That flew by.
Because because they're not friends. It's like, why is that a bad thing? Are you friends with every single person you meet? Why not with every single person you work with?
Everyone stay focused.
Like, what even the hell? And this is a weird thing where no, they're gonna be part of the party, then they have to be friends. And it's like, no, it's not how that works at all. It's not an obligation at all.
Shadow.
Full power, everyone.
Whoops.
Give up
well.
already. I never miss my.
Yeah, they're just comparing it to like the first two Persona games where there's not really, where they feel like there's not a point where where one character is shown to be more special, or like they need to constantly inflate their ego more than the others.
I don't like it either.
Yeah.
Not to mention
What the only exception someone can think of is
I agree too.
Ellie, for Ellie in Persona 2 Eternal Punishment,
Get them before
but that's because she inflates the P1 hero's ego because she has a crush on the dude and is upset she never got a chance to tell, she never told the dude. So that's not necessarily inflating his ego, that's more, I literally have a crush on this man, and this man's currently out of the country, I never told him.
I'd say we perform quite admirably.
Okay, let's keep it moving.
Folks, we have a shadow on our hands. That's the plan.
We're in a good position. We can attack at any time.
You have the upper hand.
Also saw a man tweet asking people to tweet as if freaking
An easy win.
the first three Persona games were like more popular than the
I saw
latter
that.
three.
You've arrived at Juoji. The prison keep somewhere in Mount Chashiro then.
Chashiro it is then.
Let's go, everyone.
The great hero Akira.
Something's not right. Wait, Ice. You must be villains.
Say what? If anyone's a villain here, it's you, pal.
Enough talk. In the name of our hero, Akira, I will execute you here and now.
Here it comes. Take it out.
Let's blow them out.
Persona!
I got your back.
Transformation considered reduced to create a chance of critical.
Persona! Try this!
Fair warning. This one's gonna be rough.
Eljon!
Blowing up.
Don't let up!
Take them down with a follow-up attack.
We're not done yet.
Bingo. That skill just now? Perfection.
What can I do okay? Switch it out.
Let's go. You, Nick, Michael, Nick, Stepway, Arcam, Mitra, Arcam, Sepulus,
No, but this one
Archangel,
too.
Mitra, Legion, Mitra.
Oh, that works just as well though.
I want to take you.
Don't forget his follow-up attack.
I owe you one.
Huh? This is it.
It's a strong one. Exploit its weakness to curse.
We could use that.
Good thinking, Joker.
Done.
Also, something I'm gonna note now, despite the fact that this is also generally is seen as one of the most popular arcs in P5S, there are people who also don't like it. Well, don't like certain aspects of it. And I'm not gonna lie, those complaints some of those people have is the most legitimately. I will grab you by the neck, screaming, "What do you want?" at this point.
You know, just go straight to the boss. The end.
No, you know, no. I'm talking about that narrative issue that they have.
Oh.
But it's a case of, if that's your complaint, legitimately, what do you even want?
Man.
Mitra. Here.
Like, I'm gonna freaking basically grab you by your shirt collar, shake you, screaming, "What do you want?" from Atlas at this point.
It's over.
They just wanted date your waifu game, pretty much.
Go ahead. Go.
Oh yeah, did you know that Blend It is now considered racist in the daylight community? You see, man, if we just stop using the term blendette, then we'll end racism.
Clearly.
Here's the thing, it's like, from a certain aspect, I get what they're going for, but at the same time, it's also denying the reality situation. And also, most importantly, people generally don't use the term blendette as an insult. They use it as the meme of the fact that she blends into the shadows.
Exactly.
It's like, I get why people would take offense to it, but you got way bigger problems in terms of Dead by Daylight and racism. This is at least your problem, I'm trying to say. It's like, I get the idea, because it has to do with freaking colorism and the fact that this only applies to Claudette. But at the same time, it only applies to Claudette, and you effing know why. This doesn't apply to any other dark-skinned character in the game, and you know why. That's why you're trying to deny the reality of the situation, which, yes, I get the idea. But also, you have to face the reality of this particular character. The way they were designed ends up causing them to blend into the environment. Like, the only way you would literally fix this issue is if you, one, were to literally lighten her skin. If you did that, you would be making a problem 5 times. You would make a problem that would actually be racist. Or 2, DBD is brightened. So that way, you wouldn't have a character that absolutely blends into the environment. Oh yes, I forgot another issue some people have with people on SF narrative. Okay, how do you feel about this take? Zenkichi is just bootleg Dojima. because they're both cops who aren't the best parents, who had their wives killed in a hit and run.
Sometimes they're similar stories, but they're 2 different people.
Except for the fact that Zenkichi's issue is the fact that he knows who did it but can't bring him to justice, as opposed to Dojima, who obsesses with who the culprit was, to the point where he is actively avoiding his kid because looking at his kid reminds him of his wife.
That's true.
So no, they're not the same thing at all. So I already get that complaint that you're basically just doing the same character. It's like how people say Sophia is just Aegis again. It's like,
who the fuck said that?
A lot of people do.
Bruh.
Because freaking Sophia is an AI that doesn't understand the human heart, that means she's the same thing as Aegis.
Not even.
Because don't you know, any character, any robotic character or AI is basically the exact same thing as all the rest. Don't you know that Aegis is the same thing as Menace, and Menace is the same thing as Labrys, except for the fact that they clearly aren't?
This was over before it began. Good job, everyone.
Isn't that crazy stupid to say?
Dirt.
Looks like this area is clear.
There's a checkpoint over yonder. Let's find it.
I see another page. Is that an exhibit too?
Like, I know how people joke that freaking what was it? That Chie, Rise, and On are basically all just one aspects of Lisa from Persona 2. But that's also a joke, and that's a particular reality.
Yeah.
So this dickhead uses these people for all their worth, and this is how he treats them? What an asshole!
Got the whole entire idea that freaking On has the whole entire discrimination factor of being part American in Japan. Rise has the whole idol aspect, and Chie has the kung fu obsession aspect. Even though all of them have completely different executions from Lisa Silverman.
Rust won't leave a mark. Try doing something else.
There's still a lot of enemies.
still goddamn wrong.
Stay strong, everyone.
There's something heavily wrong with the fact that I'm still not
Oh, nice, Joker. You hit its weakness.
I can be of use.
The enemy's no pushover. Target its weakness to win.
Let's go. Pixie! Michael, Mecha, Unicorn! Legion! Unicorn! Legion! Mitra! Legion! Unicorn!
Looks like you can jump on it. Use the right, and we'll run circles around the enemy.
Another one, which is also another case of execution being different. The idea that Kasumi is basically a Kasumi. Kasumi feels like Atlas doing Maki again,
Really?
but once again, way different execution. Or because the better comparison is the Persona 1 hero from the manga, which once again, the manga also had the way different execution, and also did it way better than Kasumi did it. Do you wish to tell the story of what they wanted, what kind of character they wanted? They gave the P1 hero in the manga.
Yeah.
To the point people say the manga's better than the game. No, it's not. No, it's not. I'm tired of people saying that. Anywho. Okay, so here's what they decided to go with. Freaking throughout the adventure, during the event in the manga adaptation, the P1 hero ends up meeting freaking another person that looks just like him. And it's not a demon, so you don't understand why there's someone else that looks just like him.
Yeah.
Well, no, actually, it kind of does, but it doesn't make any sense. So here's what happened. In his childhood, when he was young, he had a twin. The twin, I believe, his name was Kazuya. One day, while Kazuya was out shopping with their mom, Kazuya got hit by a car and passed away. But because of the fact that, you know, the whole entire thing of them being twins and the mom grieving, she had a very bad moment where she basically started referring to Naoya as his dead brother.
Ooh.
And wasn't listening to him when he's saying that he's not his brother. Which traumatized Naoya to the point which is why pretty much it's just an explanation for why Naoya has one earring in his design. Because he decided upon an earring to separate himself from his deceased twin. So basically that's an explanation for why he has it, but the question is, why is freaking Kazuya suddenly back if he's dead? The actual answer, it wasn't Kazuya. It was a shadow.
Ooh.
And that's the actual twist with that. He assumed it was his twin because, well, why else would it be someone else that looks just like him? But no, instead his shadow that was essentially taking the identity of his twin because that's his pretty much biggest insecurity. So you can see how that would be a better comparison to Kasumi. So, you know, execution matters, and the P1 manga executed the idea way better than freaking what P5 went with. You know what else did this better?
What?
The Kliga Effect 2. Kliga Effect 2 had a character with a similar backstory to Kasumi. Difference is the execution of Kliga Effect was better than P5R's execution with Kasumi.
The city seems almost devoid of life. Is this really the society
I will say this, Caligula Effect 1 and 2 is the biggest reason why I keep harping on the third semester's writing quality. The fact that I have seen the idea actually done justice is what annoys the hell out of me.
I'll take it from here.
Especially since the Caligula effect it generally gets written off. So the idea that it did certain aspects from P5 to P5R better is what bugs it. Well, not P5. P5R specifically better is what bugs the hell out of me. And the fact that it deserves more credit for what it did. On top of the fact that the Caligula Effect's gameplay is very unique and different, interesting turn-based combat, but that's not the point.
Not bad.
Hell, freaking, I remember how Caligula Effect also does something that some people said they wanted from Persona, but then turns out they didn't actually want it and just thought they wanted it. This is why I keep running to people when it comes to when people bash the Caligula Effect's freaking characters. Basically, after P5, there are some people who want a Persona game where the characters had more traumatizing, essentially, backstories and motivations. The Caligula Effect gives you that, and then people complain that the characters in Caligula Effect were too unlikable. And I'm like, no, a person deeply traumatized is gonna be kind of an asshole or something? Say it ain't so.
Huh.
What? Some people freaking deal with trauma differently? Who would have thunk it? Until people drop it as seeing the characters are quote-unquote too unlikable. It's like, oh great, so you didn't actually want a game that has more serious moments or traumatized characters because you're just complaining that they're too unlikable because basically you came in wanting Yusuke and you didn't get Yusuke. You want a character who could be boiled down to I do stupid stuff for art. And since you didn't get that, you instead got a character who freaking is an a-hole because of the trauma they went through. You complain they're too unlikable. That makes them badly written characters. Which is what annoys the hell out of me. Because like, oh, great, you just proved why Atlas shouldn't listen to you. Because when something gave you what you wanted, you then complain and said it was bad. Because the characters don't immediately turn into freaking completely goofy one note joke. But basically, the way I summarized it was the people want trauma, but only if the trauma can be used as a punchline and or a cute character trait. Otherwise, they don't. Otherwise, nah, they don't want it. Like, granted, there are also some games that do try to have the whole entire thing of characters who aren't likable, but do it poorly, such as the face of this in recent years is the main character of Y2K, where one of the creators of the game complain about people not liking the character and saying that the gamers just don't appreciate real art. When the answer is, you made an unlikable character, but you gave him no actual likable traits or anything, so there's nothing to latch onto. Like a comparison probably that people use is Luke von Fabre from Tales of the Abyss. For a good while in that game, Luke is a complete immature a-hole. How immature an a-hole? Dude is the reason an entire city gets blown the F up, and instead of owning up to it, instead keeps trying to pass the buck for why that happened and shirk responsibilities. And it's like, wow. You literally cannot argue against what you did, even if that wasn't your intention. But people didn't like Luke because as the game goes on, he improves. Same with a lot of the cast, where they generally have traits about them that aren't exactly likable. That doesn't actually lend them to being likable, but these characters improve over time. Compare that to a main character Y2K, where he kind of stays the same. Oh no, correction. By the time he actually improves, the game is literally about to end.
Wow.
Also, the game's idea with the character conflicts with the actual narrative. The game wants to make the point that he has to learn that... Also, I guess spoilers for Y2K. He has to learn that the world doesn't revolve around him, right? That he is not the center of the universe, and that he needs to essentially get his head out of his own butt. Here's the problem, though. The story points out the universe literally revolves around him. Everything that happens in the world and in alternate dimensions is related to him.
Wow.
The villains of the game are alternate dimension evil alternate dimension versions of the main character. This big meteorite that's gonna destroy the planet literally has his face on it. Everything literally revolves around him. So trying to say that he needs to learn that is pointless when reality says everything is 100% about you. You're literally the most important person in the world.
Here we go.
Hence why, you know, the messy idea you're going for and the actual game's narrative don't support what you're trying to do. How do I get up there? The map says grayed out portion there. How do I get up there? Can't cross through here.
There's a strong-looking shadow ahead. Red light.
Can't jump there, can't go there. Full map. Strange that there's an opening right here. That shows. That shows an opening, but there's nothing here. Third eye's not showing anything. Oh, there we go.
There is an undeniable beauty in the aesthetic of this place, but I sense little passion from its creator.
It all feels sort of... I get a little something from these, though. These slits with the light coming out of them.
Your computer sounds kind of like this.
Let's blow them out.
But yeah, generally, you're gonna try and do certain. Generally, trust how certain things are gonna do. You have to actually write them with way more care. You know, AKA, not like Persona 5. No, I will not go over the Kamoshida arc either. No, I'm not going over the fact that freaking Shiho gets horribly abused. Attempts to kill herself. Royal at the freaking Peef, then Kamoshida's palace has that freaking picture room with Shiho. Then Royal has the balls to add in freaking the Shiho cognition in the stupid bunny bikini. I let that go. Don't worry, she's weak to everything. Cause that's how Kamoshida thinks of her. It's so deep and good. And then Shiho's completely written out of the game because the writers of P5 are not equipped to handle such a heavy topic. So once the arc's done, they just immediately wash their hands of that and go, well, that's enough of that. What's that? Following up on the victims of this horrible thing? Nah, we're done here. Next arc.
Yeah.
Which why, on top of the fact that Kamoshida is just such a lame, nothing villain, and they spent 6 hours trying to build him up as like there's nothing. The freaking absolute disgustingness of how they handle Shiho. She literally exists just to be used for shock value and completely dumped.
Yeah, I could get used to this.
It's why freaking it's why freaking out of everything in P5R that was added that pissed me off, Cognitive Shiho is number one. My brother has the other extra issue, the fact of if Kamoshida knows that freaking Mishima is horrible at volleyball, then why would Shadow Kamoshida even call it Mishima for volleyball? Why wouldn't he instead have Mishima as essentially a tech person, since literally what has him in the real world? Why would his Shadow ever consider Mishima to assist them in anything volleyball related? Shiho makes sense because one is dirtbag, and two because Shiho is an actual good volleyball player. Mishima isn't. It's right there the stupidity of adding in freaking Cognitive Haru to Akumura's palace. Like, what the hell did that add?
There it is. The prison keep. I see a radio tower, too. It's probably how they're controlling all the surveillance cams. If we can just steal the core, those things will be totally bricked.
Then let's slip inside and steal it.
Not so fast. There are cameras here, too. What are we supposed to do about those?
Let's go around.
Good idea. It doesn't look like the front door is that much of an option anyway. Straight path isn't always the quickest, right? Let's see if there are any other ways in.
Like, what the hell did freaking Cognitive Haru even add to the game? Oh,
Nothing.
Especially since freaking they kept in the line from Vanilla P5, where freaking Morgana says that Haru actually asked, "Where's our cognition?" and Morgana says, "You don't want to know." They kept that line in.
Wow.
They kept that line in where he goes like, "You don't want to know." And yet they then add freaking Cognitive Haru, and what did she add to the boss fight other than going, "Wow, her dad's awful, who knew?" Hey, do you want to know what got the point across that her dad was completely awful? The fact that the freaking boyfriend in the freaking fiance in Akumura's mind is a scumbag. Think about that. Think about that.
Bruh.
When you fight when Haru awakens, is to the big robot of freaking her fiance, and he acts the exact same way he does in reality. What does that mean?
My father knew about it and didn't give a damn.
Exactly. You already got the point across. What the hell was the point of then going? And now look at his cognition. He thinks she's just a freaking robot that should obey. That's willing to sacrifice. When she does sacrifice, she does like no damage because he basically thinks she's worthless. So we're so deep here. It's like, what the hell did that add? Wherever you know this, you did this way better with the freaking fiance cognition. Also, because of the fact that we don't get freaking cognition, that we now get cognitions of Haru, that raises the question: where's the Ryuji cognition and where's the Ryuji and Joker cognition coming to Shia's palace?
Oh, that's true.
I think that actually makes them the only ones. The only one, no, that and freaking there's no Makoto cognition in freaking Kanashiro's palace, but which is Makoto really important enough to have a freaking cognition in Kanashiro's palace? Let's be real. Let's be real.
The shadow. Mighty tough one.
Like considering Joker Ryuji directly threatened Kamoshida, and there's a freaking cognition of Mishima. Where's the Joker Ryuji cognition?
I'm just shaking my head.
That's something that I still think about. Like, where's the Joker Ryuji cognition? If freaking Mishima, who Kamoshida thinks is worthless, can get cognition, what about the two people who directly are onto him and directly confronted him in his office? What, they're not important enough?
Sounds like a oops moment.
It's either go all in on the idea or don't.
Good. On to the next.
You're pretty low on stamina. Might want to head back before it's all gone.
Shadow sighted. What should we do?
I mean, then again, you can ask, where's the freaking Sojiro cognition in Futaba's palace?
Now's our chance.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you had that freaking cognition shadow whatever thing in Futaba's palace. We had to get the thing back for Shadow Futaba before she let you in. That was significant enough, but not the person who's raised her, who she's literally trying to get a change of heart in order to help.
We can use these to get to the other side.
Remember, the whole point of Futaba Black Metal Fan Thieves to help to change her heart is because Sai was pressuring Sojiro. It was gonna freaking try and get him arrested. We didn't hand over Wakaba's research. So clearly Sojiro should be important enough to be in her palace. Like, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying these characters have to play anything major in the palace. They just have to be in there.
Give up already. I never miss my...
You were no ordinary geezer.
You can do it. I'll do it.
Neko Shogun! Here!
Whoa, you make this look easy.
Switch out!
Why is with the lack of any here?
Now we're getting somewhere.
You're mine.
Holding 'em off.
Wait, the enemies all got super armor or something? Why y'all not getting staggered?
We need to be careful.
I can get that one.
Ravage them.
All right.
Big attack incoming. Brace yourself.
Here, let's try this. Let's try this. Here, how's this?
Run in circles around them. Ladies and gentlemen, your hack is now complete. Been a pleasure.
Okay, I think we're clear. Let's move it.
We're close to a checkpoint.
Now then.
No more dungeon crawling? Then let's skedaddle. Let's get to.
We should use the same happening. Now's your chance to shop. You thinks a bunch. How many you thinks a bunch? 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 How many would you thinks a bunch? You thinks a bunch. Who's it for? Who's it for?
So yeah, Velvet in the Velvet Room.
Welcome to the Velvet Room. You wish to browse the... What will you be registering? Would you like to... This persona has been registered in performing a fusion. It seems that it can gain new power. Choose which... Is this... Now, let us begin.
Persona.
It seems that it can gain new power. Choose which... Is this the... Be born anew. It seems that it can gain new power. Choose which...
I don't want physical based persona in this game. Well, when you're strong enough.
It seems that it can gain new power. Choose which...
Sure, let's just make this for the hell of it.
Is this... Be born anew.
I'm gonna need 2 persona anyway, so might as well turn this thing better at least.
It seems that it can gain new power. It seems that it can gain new power. Choose... Is this...
Agion.
Now, let us begin. seems that it can gain new power. Choose which. Is this? Now, let us begin.
It's going fusion crazy here.
It seems that it can gain new power.
Way more magic.
Choose which. Is this?
Masakunda.
Now, let us begin.
Perfect. Add boost to magic. Boost to magic. I'd love to see it.
It seems that it can gain new power.
I'll sacrifice the damage for that.
You wish to strengthen it?
Good.
May luck be on your side.
I'll just add this.